ghosts, aliens, and other mysteries of the universe? Do you want to hear stories and opinions from people who have experienced the supernatural? Then tune in to Supernatural Limits, the podcast that explores the unknown and the unexplained. Every week, we explore encounters with the paranormal, the bizarre, and the unbelievable. Whether a skeptic or a believer, join us on this thrilling journey into the other side of reality.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Supernatural Limits. You're here today with Rex and Guy So Smooth. This is episode 12. Disclaimer. Anything we say and or do on this podcast is for purely entertainment and educational purposes only. The views expressed here belong to the speakers themselves and do not represent the WEFOBZ enterprise brand. Well, Mouse, another interesting topic for us to explore and scratch the curiosity itch for our audience at this very moment. And I know you've been wanting to talk about this for a little while. We've been having to do a lot of in real life things, but I welcome you back to the show, bro.
Thanks, sure. Good to be back.
Yes, indeed. So how's things going so far? Getting ready for the holidays?
Oh, yes, sir. So, yeah, today was my oldest birthday, so spent the whole day doing that, and now I'm ready to, yes, sir,
Happy
ready to get back
birthday.
in, bro.
Thank you.
How you been, man?
Oh man, I'm under the weather. That's why I got a little croak in the throat. Freaking weather change out here in Aloha land. It always happens, man. Whenever there's a weather change, my body starts telling me, okay, it's time to get sick.
WEFOBZ, note the dedication. He's sick and he's here.
Oh, no rest for the wicked, right?
Let's go.
Whoa. So why don't you tell the audience what we're going to be talking about for this podcast? Episode 12.
All right, WEFOBZ. Today's topic is Atlantis. Is it real? Does it exist? Or was it just a work of fiction by a scholar? What's your guys' thoughts?
Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
All right, so Atlantis first came up at about 360 BC by a philosopher named Plato. So Plato talked about Atlantis, and he said it existed about 9,000 years before him, right? He said the story's been passed on by poets, priests, and others, but his writings are the only known records of it. So why are so many people convinced that it's an actual place? Why are so many people convinced that it actually existed in the first place?
What is the allure behind Atlantis? That is the
Right?
ultimate question. WEFOBZ Nation. Rex has put it down. He's laid the line. What do you all think? Well, my Uso man, you and I have both heard. I know you've heard it. I both heard, witnessed, and seen a lot of things. A lot of people's research, their documentaries, their shows, entertainment shows on Atlantis, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
permeated the freaking entertainment industry. They made movies out of it. I mean, even Disney has a movie, a cartoon movie called Atlantis, right? Remember?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a Disney movie, right? Did I get that right?
Yep.
They haven't made a real life live action one of that yet. But
No, I mean, like the closest thing we got to that is like Aquaman. You know what I mean?
yeah. Speaking of Aquaman, he has like part two. It's out in theaters right now. I've been wanting to see it. Just didn't have time. Shoot. And
Oh,
it's
is it already out?
yeah. Aquaman,
Oh,
I think that one's about the lost city of Atlantis too, bro.
Shout out to the Uso Jason, man. Hey, when you got a
Yeah,
second, stop by WeFoBZ. Come talk with us. Just let us know what you think about Atlantis.
Mr. Momoa there. Well, yeah, dude, like Atlantis is so embedded into our current day culture. And it's been like Plato's time, that's thousands of years ago.
Right? And even still, he said it was thousands of years before him. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
like,
So it blows the mind. Really blows your mind when you think about that. What's the allure
if,
for? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, for the listeners that don't know what Atlantis is, take a second, jump on Google, jump on Bing, search it up. Brush up a little bit on it.
Yeah, and if you need help still, and you want us to simplify for all of you, coconut style. So Atlantis was believed to be this country of advanced civilization, advanced people who had like they're saying mythical. They already invented vehicles that could fly and go on the sea and stuff like that. They're pretty much advanced like our civilization now, but this existed thousands and thousands of years ago before our time. But something happened, like a natural disaster or a huge disaster happened to it, struck the continent of Atlantis, and they say Atlantis sunk into the ocean. Now, the first, as Rex pointed out, Plato was the first to say that that happened. And Plato kind of put in there it was like due to their sin or something like that, right? Am I wrong? Is due to their hubris, like they thought they were the best
Yeah,
of the best,
it
and the
was.
gods
Yep,
struck them down or something.
yep. It was due to their hubris.
Man, that sounds like one of those stories from the Bible, right? What the Tower of Babel?
Yeah, well, I mean, even the days of Noah too. Noah was like the
Even
last
though,
righteous
yep.
man on earth.
And then Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Yep.
Man, if
'Cause,
you
I mean,
all,
there's so many stories of a great flood, and so many stories about water destroying a certain kingdom, right? So,
yeah, and
I
it's
mean, is
all
there truth behind Atlantis, or is it based on another kingdom?
that's a good question. It's all connected, land and water, water and land. I mean, I
Yeah,
myself have witnessed what water can do when the destructive force of water in
right.
terms of like a tsunami and stuff, man. The tsunami back in American South Wolf 2009, man, that was no joke.
Yeah.
But bringing it back to freaking Atlantis, we to the present day, to right now, we have a movie out that talks about Atlantis. That topic ain't
Well,
going away. I mean, have they found
they
evidence of Atlantis existing?
I mean, okay, so I came across a couple guys, right? And one of them was a couple years ago, and recently he was on Joe Rogan, like I guess again. But he believes that his name is Jimmy Corsetti, and his theory is that this place out in the Western Sahara, which is like northern Africa, he believes that that could be the location for Atlantis, and he's got a whole YouTube channel, dedicated to that. And man, like the his evidence, like he has satellite imagery to back up his theories, and he brings up, you know, a lot of translation errors, like similar to the Bible being translated from Latin to English.
Oh,
You
this
know,
guy
so
right here. Oh, Bright Insight. I've subscribed to him. Okay.
yep, Jimmy Corsetti.
Right here on YouTube, WeFoz Nation, if you're looking for him. That's his YouTube channel, Bright Insight.
Yep.
What's
And
this?
if you see that image right there at the top,
Yeah,
okay,
what's this image right there?
so that's the Richat structure, and it's
Mhm.
in the Western Sahara in Northern Africa. They call that the Eye of the Sahara, but he believes that that is Atlantis. He thinks that's the ruins of the ancient city of Atlantis, specifically the capital city that Plato described.
Is there a reason why he believes it's that?
Yep. So yeah, I mean, if you go back to the image, oops, you look at those circles. Plato
Yeah.
described he described the inner city, which is basically a huge ass island, like a couple hundred miles across in diameter, but it's concentric circles of land, water, and then there's a canal that goes all the way through the middle. But
I'm
if you
on
look at the shape
Wikipedia
of,
right now. Is this what you're talking about?
yes, sir. So his theory is that that's, the ruins of it. And then he's also like, if you go through his channel or you read any of his material, he shows imagery from, that depicts, a bunch of salt deposits. And then
Mhm.
there's also evidence of sea creatures in that general area, which is in the middle of the desert, right? So, people
Yeah.
that argue against them, they're like, well, it can't be, like it's this high in elevation. It couldn't be, Atlantis at all. And they keep finding more and more proof that it could have been, because there was signs of ocean life there at one point.
Yeah. So he
So I mean,
argues.
bro,
I
yeah, his
mean,
his argument makes a lot of sense to me, but there's another guy that argues against him. His name is Randall Carlson. So some of the stuff
Randall.
he talks about, like, yeah, it makes sense, but I'm gonna lean more to the side of Jimmy Corsetti, and that's just my opinion, WeFob. So go through the material, investigate for yourself, and comment. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys come up with.
Randall Carson, huh?
Yep.
So you're saying he goes against this guy?
Yeah, he said he argues against Jimmy Corsetti, saying that that structure is
Yeah.
not it's not Atlantis. It couldn't be, and his argument is that it's naturally formed, an old volcano.
This guy. He's got his own website with his own books and everything.
Yep. He's a writer, YouTuber, all kinds
He's
of stuff, man.
they call he's what, the renegade archaeologist?
Yeah.
Right here. Renegade scholar. Okay. Wow. You don't so well, let me ask you this, bro. You don't think these guys are just trying to do this just to get notoriety, some fame, and earn some money?
I mean, it's hard these days, bro. It's hard to say, right? Because I mean, like, there's always people that's coming up with their evidence, and then they're able to weave a picture to be more convincing than the next person, right? So like, how do you how do you go about disseminating the information that's being thrown at you?
Yeah. That, that's kind of like what we ran into with the Bigfoot story, right?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the we say rabbit hole, but I mean, it's not even a rabbit hole, because the deeper you dive into the subject, the bigger the hole gets. So it ends up becoming a damn crater.
Kind of why I keep telling everyone, and once again, I remind WeFoBZ why we created Supernatural Limits. There are questions that people usually don't ask for fear of, well, I guess they have certain fears. We're asking those questions. Uh,
Yeah,
please don't take it the wrong way. We're not meaning to offend anyone. We're just very curious.
right. Okay, so let me ask you, from not just from our crowd, right? But like, as a Pacific Islander, specifically a Samoan, how, how do you feel about people thinking about Atlantis? Like, our community back in Samoa is not really into that,
I say our community is a bunch of hypocrites, man. They live
right?
in the supernatural world, but they don't want to. They kind of like push it to the side and say,
they
we're
they
in the
limit it.
light, we're in the time of Jesus Christ and stuff like that. Shout out to the
Yep.
man upstairs. Jesus, your birthday's coming up. Hell yeah, we're gonna celebrate Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
Let's go.
But I
Happy
just
Hanukkah.
believe that a lot of, well, specifically our people, kind of like put it to the side, and they're missing
Yeah.
out on a whole thousands of years of history. of how we were involved.
Yeah.
But that's just me, man.
No,
Other
I
people
agree,
don't
man.
feel the same way. But I mean, these are things. The spirituality is where we're connected with, but we're not allowed. There's always that stigma where we're not allowed to go and explore these things because they say bad things will happen to you, which, yeah, it does. But at the same time, what happened to the fearlessness that our people had when they set out to journey across the oceans and discover the original Polynesian islands? And, same thing with all the Micronesians and the Melanesians, the seafaring
Yes.
people. Where is that
Yes.
bravery and that uh spirit gone to? Well, what's all this bullcrap I'm talking about? I just feel these are subject matters that we should get into, that we should look into, because it's a part of who we are. And just trying to cut away a part of who we are is a dishonor to our ancestors and to ourselves.
Yeah. Nicely put, Bruce. Nicely put. And I couldn't agree more, bro. Like, so not just as people who enjoy, the supernatural aspect of life and the world, but like, people who come from our backgrounds as Pacific Islanders, man. Like the culture is trippy trying to balance, right? And yeah, I do agree with the hypocrisy, bro, because it's there. And it's crazy to think we're here doing a podcast on things like Bigfoot, Atlantis, and stuff like that. And it's kind of hush hush in the
Yeah,
islands. They pick and choose what supernatural stuff they talk about.
yeah, I would call myself a hypocrite because I haven't even touched on any of our native supernatural stories or anything. But you know what, bro? That's coming on down the line. We're just trying to warm our people up to the subject matter.
Yes, sir. Well, exactly, man. We're trying to open up the Psalm 1 community to other things, as well as, open up the outside community listening into our culture. So I love that. I'm all for
and,
it.
and I'm glad you are here along for the journey, including all the rest of the hosts that came on before us. Um, Shout out to everybody who has ever held a supernatural show down, a show, a podcast, a radio cast.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
yes.
understand the what would you call it? We understand how people shun you and look at you different and crazy. We understand that. But we also understand that people fear what they don't understand.
Exactly. I agree.
But
Man, on
again,
point,
bro,
Los. On point.
I put it out there, man. Where's the fearlessness that sent us across the oceans? Where's the fearlessness that had us discovering new places? Man, if freaking Maui and Billy were able to go into Antarctica or places of snow from a freaking island paradise, where's the fearlessness of that? Where's the fearlessness of the Nafanua bloodline? Where is that? When trying to discover all these topics and all these, you
Ooh.
know,
Oh, you
these
spitting heat tonight, Los.
it's just I feel
Man,
so strongly about it because my spirit is awakened. The ancestral blood in me is speaking, man. Like,
man, let it out. Let it
why
out,
did
Los.
you all forget about us? Why did you forget about your supernatural side, people? Is it because you couldn't deal with it? Is it because you had a traumatizing experience with it? Is it because you couldn't explain it? But this is not to go against um, religious aspects with Christianity and our belief in God and Jesus
No.
and the Holy Spirit. It's nothing against that. Everything exists in tandem. The rightful ruler, the king of all, will always be the king of all. And then, once again, it comes back to why are you talking about all this ish? Why are you trying to explore that? That is stuff that should be out of your, you shouldn't, you are, what would you call it? Taboo from speaking about those things.
Yeah, couple. But I mean, we should be asking ourselves why.
It's the whole, yeah, we now have the freedom to do so. God
Yeah.
bless America, man.
I mean, not just that. Think about it. Like we have podcasts now, and information is like it's crazy how much information is out there now as opposed to, when we were growing up. We're from a generation. We were right on the cusp of not having anything internet related to the internet being born to what we have now, which is crazy. It's 2023 currently as we're recording this. But man, it is crazy.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's podcasting is old radio, but in a new it's the new way.
Yes, sir.
We don't have as much regulation now as radio have. Radio has radio is
No,
heavily regulated. You can't say certain things on air and stuff like
super
that.
restricted.
Super restricted. I believe uh this freedom and exchange of ideas. I can understand now why people enjoy the freedoms of selection and what they want to do. The discourse itself helps to improve the flow of information. And then it's up to the people to really get down the right information and filter out the wrong one. And even if you get the wrong information, you learn from that. Does that make any
Yep.
sense?
Oh yeah, perfect sense.
Then it just brings it right back to our supernatural limits, and we're talking about Atlantis. I mean, I know I said we were hypocrites in not exposing our side of supernatural things, but there is a connection to Atlantis. There was another mythical land that's out there from our people side, I believe, related to us in the Pacific Islands, indigenous cultures. You ever heard of Lemuria? Lemuria.
Lemuria. Yep.
It
Oh,
is.
that's funny because I was just talking about it the other night with one of my buddies over here at my place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just the fact that you brought it up with Atlantis. I mean, for most people, uh, the average Joe, a lot of people don't know about it. But I mean, bringing it up with in tandem with Atlantis, such impeccable timing.
Yep. And for those of you, if you know, you know. If you know about Atlantis, and you took the dive into the rabbit hole or the deep pit, whatever Rex calls it, you would know that whenever the name of Atlantis come up, the name of Lemuria or Lemuria will come up. Right here on Wikipedia, it says it was a continent proposed by a zoologist in 1864. Philip Sclater. Hey, Fox. Theorized to have sunk beneath the Indian Ocean, later appropriated by occultists and supposed accounts of human origins. Yeah, there's just all these theories about this, about how it's the Indian Ocean. People are like, we're in the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
Then it goes down to the evolution of the idea over here, where it says Lemuria was hypothesized as a land bridge now sunken, which would have accounted for certain continuities in biogeography. What are they saying? There are certain things that exist on certain continents, and people are saying that's not supposed to be over there. So they're saying
Right.
that Mura was the land bridge between that, which is kind of not far off. How do we get involved as Pacific Islanders? Because that land bridge was where New Zealand and everything else is, like where our islands are
Yep.
in the Pacific Ocean. So they don't know if it's Pacific or freaking Indian Ocean, whatever it
Indian
is.
Ocean.
Yeah. So, bro, when I was going through this stuff, when I simplified it, it was like Atlantis was the technologically advanced guys in this continent, and Lemuria was the spiritually advanced guys. Like they knew about psychic powers and stuff like that, and Atlantis knew about technological powers and stuff like that. That's what I got from this thing. And they may
Yep.
have existed at the same time or different periods of time, allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah. Allegedly, man. I mean, because like what was brought up from a few sources, Plato's description is the only known source of Atlantis, right? Nobody
Yeah,
else nobody else knows where to find other information on it aside from that.
Plato,
But
you
I mean, like,
sucking dog. You didn't even tell everybody where you got your sources.
right? Well, he
Freaking.
said it was poets
Oh yeah,
and
that's right. He did say.
priests and others. Yeah, but I was like, well, why didn't you list any of them, bro? What poet? I mean, what priests? You know what I mean?
Like what people, where, which country, which side?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Freaking
Your current events are horrible, bro.
yeah. And then you're passing it down, and it's amazing that we got these stories. Goes back once again to like the myth. They're saying Lemuria is a myth more so than Atlantis. And then when you talk about Lemuria, then you get into the land of Mu, right?
Yep.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
They're trying to say Mu and Lemuria are two different things, or might be one thing.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean,
so
like a lot of
crazy.
stuff I'm hearing is that it is the same, but yeah, bro, like that's it's wild. And then you tie that in with the with Rapa Nui with the Moai, right?
Yeah,
And there's ties from Atlantis and Lemuria to that.
man.
So like bro, it just keeps getting more and more wild.
Bro, did I tell you about how the Moai are connected to Gobekli Tepe?
No.
You know about Gobekli Tepe?
Yes, I
Wanna
know about.
let me bring it up. Gobekli Tepe. I hope I can spell this right. It's one of the oldest known.
Gobekli Tepe.
It's the place where people it rewrote archaeological history because archaeologists were saying human history only goes back about what 10, 5 to 6,000 years.
A few thousand years, yeah.
Civilizational history or something like that. Civilization.
Yeah.
And then along comes the discovery of this archaeological structure, which is it's not just a structure, it's a whole freaking city. And it pushes the date timeline tens of thousands of years further back. In Turkey, Gobekli Tepe, this place.
Yep.
So did I show you what I'm trying to get at is if this place existed 20,000 years, between 10 to 20,000 years, or even older, this is connected. Just recently, they've shown the connections between this because of you see these drawings on the stone pillars right here?
Yep.
It's connected to the Moai in Easter Island. Can you believe that?
Bro, I am not surprised anymore. Like the more scientists look into stuff from the past, the more they see that we really are all related.
it, it just it's gotta blow your mind if that's remember because the legends of our people, the myths of our people always stated that we always came from Samoa, right?
Yep.
The people of the sun. Endearingly over there call themselves people of the sun too. And then there's people of the sun in the freaking South American places.
Yep.
Right? And here we go. This is what I'm trying to say. So the pictures on those stone structures in Gobekli Tepe in Turkey are quite similar to the pictographs that are shown right here on the Moai bodies from Easter Island. See if I can get in on the zoom in on that. And it's crazy.
Yeah. From Turkey to Easter Island. Jeez.
Easter, remember, everybody thought it was only the heads, but they dug down
Just the
deeper,
heads.
and there's
Yep.
bodies of these things. Who would create the entire statue? Turkey to Easter Island, bro. And then
Why were
over
they buried?
to, bro, even to our brothers and sisters over there in Micronesia with, what's that ancient structure over there? There's an ancient structure in Micronesia also. And I'm pretty sure Nan Madol. You ever heard of that?
Oh, Nan Madol's series of 100 islands.
Yeah, it's so Nan Madol, I'm gonna bring that up. These ancient structures, there's speculation that they're connected too to Easter Island and Gobekli Tepe.
Oh wow.
It's in Micronesia, bro. And the Micronesians still got they still got the way of like how you have the knowledge of the ancient sea finding ways.
Yep.
What do you call them?
The seafarers.
Yep. But this structure was built and it sunk below the ocean. Can that be Atlantis?
Wow.
Micronesia, bro. Look at
I
all this.
I did not know about that. That's cool, bro.
Look it up, man. They said it was built by giants.
That's trippy.
I'm just
That's
yeah.
and all this ties in from Atlantis, bro.
Yes, it is. And why am I showing you all this? Because you know that whole hypocritical thing where I said we're talking about stuff that's far away from us and we could bring it closer to home. This is closer to home. Micronesia, Easter Island, that's home for us. WEFOBZ Nation.
Man.
Speculation, allegedly, everybody. It's all speculation.
Alleged. It's all speculation.
But then we
If
want to
anybody out there has different facts, let us know.
Yes.
You know, like correct us, educate us. We genuinely want to know.
Different facts, not alternative facts.
Right.
Oh man, bro.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer indeed. Man, Oos, I think I showed everything I want. I want to leave everybody on a cliffhanger. What do you think?
I agree, bro. I mean, I think with what we put out there so far, it's enough to get the wheels spinning, you know, get the wheels going.
So we want the questions coming, WEFOBZ Nation members. Ask us anything. Come and comment, man. Criticize us. We're looking forward to it. You can find us all on social media, on all over the different social media channels. If you want to go to our website, wefobz.io, hit us up over there too. Contact us. You want to come on board and be on the podcast? We're free to it. Hit us up. Man,
Let's
Rex.
go.
It's been an honor, whyuce. It's been an honor, bro.
Likewise, brother.
Any closing thoughts for our WEFOBZ Nation members on what we discussed today?
Man, you know, like I said, look up the two. Go dive through the information. Look at the two opposing forces in Jimmy Corsetti and Randall Carlson about Atlantis. There's way more people, and then look at theories of where Atlantis is. You can point anywhere on the map and damn near touch where someone said Atlantis could be. So, you know, use that for food for thought. Drink your water. Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated indeed. Thank you, WEFOBZ Nation, for tuning in to episode 12 of the Supernatural Limits podcast. We look forward to having you on our next one. Because, you know, with Rex and I, we're going to go there. Let's go there. We out.
WEFOBZ.